Hi guys, Adas, how are you? Having issues. Okay, so some of the most dangerous people in our society are people who have no conscience, like narcissists, sociopaths, psychopaths. Not every not every narcissist is a criminal, but the majority of criminals are indeed narcissists. And because they have no remorse and they have no concern for other people, especially higher on the spectrum of narcissism and psychopathy, sociopathy, the higher on the spectrum they are, the more dangerous they are, okay? Because they have no remorse and they have absolutely no conscience, all right? One of those people he was a doctor, Michael Mastromarino. He was a dental surgeon. This is a true story. As I was watching the crime unfold, I was thinking he is a sociopath, right? So let's go into it. The name of the company, okay, first of all, he was a dental surgeon. He got himself in trouble because he developed a drug addiction, IV drug addiction. Fentanyl, Demerol, and who knows what else he was injecting. So his job basically told him, either go to rehab or you're not going to have a job anymore. He did go to rehab for rich people, all right? He did go to rehab, but after 3 days, he was like, I'm not as bad as some of these people are. I'm good. And he checked himself out of rehab. Obviously, typical narcissist. I'm above the rules. I'm above the laws. I'm above everything because I'm a doctor and a narcissist. So anyway, he developed this. They had him do something else in medicine where he's not dealing directly with drugs. And he created a company called Biomedical Tissue Services, or BTS. And this was based out of Fort Lee, New Jersey. All right. Basically, in a nutshell, he was harvesting tissues to sell to companies so that they can use those tissues on patients. Hospitals can, use those tissues for patients who need them, like burn victims and, things of that nature. Okay, so what he was doing was harvesting tissue from corpses, which happens all the time. Here's the problem. He did not get permission from the families that he was harvesting those tissues from. Okay? So he's harvesting tissue like skin. He was taking bones out of people. He was also, without the family's permission, which you cannot do that. But he was going to do it because he's above the law. Or at least in his delusional mind, he's above the law. So anyway, he was making millions of dollars off of this. He was doing really well. The problem is he was doing it illegally. Eventually, the feds raided his office and they found out that he was forging medical documents. He was saying that they died for, cardiac arrest or just other things that are similar to that, when in reality they died of AIDS, HIV-related illness, hepatitis C, and cancer. So he's giving diseases to other people because he's using diseased tissue illegally from people's loved ones and selling that tissue off. He was selling it legally, but he went around about it illegally because he has no conscience. So they had to start exhuming patients, cadavers. They weren't really patients, right? They weren't alive, but they had to exhume these people's bodies so that they could get the evidence that they need. So can you only imagine what the families are going through? They have to have permission to exhume their bodies for this investigation. Some of the people, they discovered that the leg bones were completely removed and replaced with PVC pipe. Okay? So he doesn't care that your grandpa died, or your grandma died, or your mama died, or your auntie who Flo died, or whoever, Uncle Billy Bob, whatever. He doesn't give a shit. To him, they represent the dollar sign. This is what I mean by these people are the most dangerous individuals in our society. Absolutely the most dangerous, because they have no conscience. And I already told you that narcs love money. I told you that. So this went on until he made millions and millions of dollars, and then finally the feds got wind of it. I don't know how, but they got wind of it, and they raided his office, and they started exhuming bodies and checking out records and realizing that he was doing all of this illegal, dirty stuff when they first confronted him, because narcs lie. Mentally ill people, they lie like a rug, okay? Two of my associates are involved in this, and I'm going to get to the bottom of it. When in reality, he was the one that was involved in it, and he was the ringleader, okay? So, needless to say, he got arrested. He got arrested for, oh gosh, I want to say 19 years, but you're supposed to screen legally, federally. You're supposed to screen and test donors for relevant communicable disease agents and diseases to ensure that HCTPS, whatever that means. Oh, human cells, tissues, and cellular tissue-based products are processed in a way that prevents communicable diseases, contamination, and cross-contamination. Which, of course, he didn't bother doing any of that, so the hell with the federal laws. He doesn't really give a rat's ass about this. Typical mentally ill person. The world belongs to me. So there was a deceased broadcaster named Alistair Cook who was among those that had been violated and sold in New York. This person was a famous broadcaster. Okay? So, this is what I mean by they're extremely dangerous. They have no conscience. We know this is your dearly beloved departed one. Who cares? Okay? Typical narc mentality. Very dangerous people. Very dangerous people. And of course lied his ass off when he got caught, of course. One transplant patient named Betty P.F.A.F.F., I don't know how you pronounce that, was one person who suffered severe infection, septic shock, underwent dialysis, and ultimately paralysis due to having received an implant made from infected cadaver tissue from Mastro Marino's company. Okay? Paralysis. She almost died. Okay? One Colorado woman had to repeat her ACL replacement surgery after her first BTS tendon failed. Excuse me. An Ohio woman who developed syphilis after receiving a bone from BTS, and an Ohio man who developed both HIV and hepatitis C after receiving BTS bone implants and surgery. Okay? His wife got rid of him for obvious reasons. The older son does not speak to the father. Mastro Marino was incarcerated at Rikers Island. And, yeah. She admitted to ignoring warning signs in the beginning of their relationship. Okay? Now, here's where it gets... I love karma. Y'all know I love karma, especially when a person is evil. Okay? He died in prison from liver failure and bone cancer. Is that not ironic? You're stealing bones from people against the family's will, diseased tissue, and you yourself ended up with bone cancer and liver failure. I'm not upset about it. That's what he gets. Payback's a bitch. And see, narcissists are so arrogant and so out there that it doesn't even occur to them that karma's coming for them. It doesn't even dawn on them. It doesn't even hit them. I'm trying to see. I can't spell. Mastro Marino. Such a weird... Might be... I wonder if it's... Doctor died. Okay. So I'm just double checking his cause of death. Liver and bone cancer. He was only 49. He pleaded guilty to body stealing in 2008. He was sentenced up to 58 years in prison. Let's see here. What a shame. It's just terrible. And he kept saying he was misunderstood. Do you see how delusional they are? Misunderstood? Really? They said what he did was outrageous. He got a license to sell. He had to give up his license after he became addicted to drugs. And then he obtained a license to sell human tissue and profited in an industry that provides important medical procedures. Okay? The tissue includes anything that is not an organ. All right? Tissue includes anything that's not an organ, including tendons, ligaments, skin, bones, heart valves, and corneas. Tissue is recovered, sterilized, and turned into medical products. A tendon from a cadaver can be used to repair a torn knee ligament. Veins are used in heart bypass operations. Bone can be crushed into powder and used to help mend a broken leg or build up the jaw around a dental implant. But I mean, if you have to have it done, you have to have it done, I guess. But crushing up bone, yikes. Yeah, so, you know, he died in a hospital in New York. His wife and him were supposed to pay back $4.6 million. This is what I call karma. And when evil people get karma, I think it's wonderful. You deserve everything you get, and you deserve that and more and more and more and more. You need to be punished until you die because you refuse to get help. You refuse to admit that you have a problem. There's professional people out there that can help you. You knew you had a problem a long time ago, and you just didn't care. I guarantee you, when he was on his deathbed, all of a sudden, he cared. Okay? Now that I think I have some time, I'm going to go ahead and research. Okay, so I don't have to put it in the information bar. I'll just give it to you now. Some more things that I found a complete turn-off regarding the mating site. It's not a dating site. It's a mating site. Okay, because people don't care about nothing but humping. Pictures of men with a cigar or cigarette dangling from their mouth in the picture. That's gross. Nobody wants to see that. Okay? Only one picture of themselves. The rest is of their dog, car, truck, or whatever. Men with a man's name, but he's got full makeup on, earrings, boobs, and a dress, where women are looking for men. So they're looking for men, but you're perpetrating yourself as a woman to women. What are you doing? What are you doing? One dude's page said, and I quote, "I'm only here for one thing, and it's not for talking." He needs to research. I could tell him, you know, somebody needs to tell him to get a dictionary and look up what an escort is. He probably doesn't know what a dictionary is. So instead of opening someone's legs, he needs to open a book and figure out what an escort is, because that's all you care about anyway. There's different pay grades because you sound extremely ignorant, so you're probably not getting paid enough money to pay a higher class escort. So you're going to have to go with, you know, Miss Susie on the corner. And because that's all you want anyway. So why don't you just pay your $50 and get your rocks off and be done with it and leave the rest of us the hell alone, pervert. I'm sure your parents are real proud. What'd your son do for a living? Oh, well, he chases poon. He has this little piddly job and he chases poon. Oh, you must be proud. Yeah. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. You could tell when parents don't raise their children right. You could tell because you look at the end result, a piece of shit adult, and you're like, yeah, your parents are fucked way up because they didn't raise you right. They didn't bother raising you at all, obviously. Yeah, it's pretty obvious. Wow. So anyway, you guys take care. Love you. And no texting while driving, because what? No text is worth dying for. All right, you guys take care. Be safe. Be safe when you travel. I mean it. All right, y'all take care. Love you. Bye.